My name is Mikayla. I am 1/3 of the I'll Read What She's Reading podcast. This week I'm going to be sharing some of my most recent reads and what I rated them and some of my overall thoughts. It was a grind these past few weeks with some of the books I've been reading, and it was really satisfying because a lot of them I did finish up the series or finish up how many books were currently out. So it was a grind. After this video, you'll see how much of a grind it was to finish some of these books. To start off with my most recent read, I read the We Hunt the Flame and We Free the Stars. I do not know how to say this author's name, but I think I rated both of these 3.5. No, the first book I rated 4, the second book I rated 3.5. I think it was honestly a me problem with the second book and not the second book problem. It was me. I was having a hard time focusing for whatever reason, but these were so beautiful. The imagery and the way she described things was chef's kiss. I loved the books and I loved the way that she made me feel during these books. The last 50 pages of this book was so good. So good. I loved the setting, and I liked how it was a little bit of a change up from some fantasy books, and they were really good. Highly suggest if you're wanting a little bit of a switch up, a different culture, a different scenery. Loved these books. Next, I finished The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. I finished the original Mistborn trilogy, and I loved how this book just kind of wraps things up in a nice little bow while also tearing my heartstrings out. I think I did have a harder time with the middle portion of this book, but with all things Brandon Sanderson, it's completely necessary to have the middle portion of the book. I believe I rated this 4 stars. I really wanted to give it 5 stars, but I really liked it, but honestly, the first book just still made me feel some kind of way. I still really enjoyed this book, but I just don't think the second or third book tops the first book for whatever reason. I loved jumping into that world and kind of learning the magic system in that first book, and I know it's more comfortable, and I'm way more comfortable with all of the characters in this third book, and I just really grew a deep attachment to them. Anyways, this Mistborn trilogy was really great, and I really can't wait to read some more of Brandon Sanderson's books. I don't know if I'll continue with the next trilogy, or if I will jump to some other books. Maybe I'll read Trust of the Emerald Sea or something different, The Way of Kings. I'm just not quite sure what direction next to go with Brandon Sanderson, so if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on what Brandon Sanderson book I should read next. Alright, and then next I read Dark Age and Lightbringer by Pierce Brown, and I really like these books. I did. I really struggled with Dark Age. I don't know why. I struggled so much with Dark Age. I still rated it 4 stars. I just really love the characters in these books, and I love the way Pierce Brown does this world. I kind of love the brutalness of it, and I love my heart being torn into shreds. It's just a great series, and I really can't wait for Red God. And then Lightbringer, definitely I had an easier time with than Dark Age. I also really liked that this one was a little bit shorter. I think maybe this book, if it was maybe a little bit shorter, I would have liked it a little bit better. There was a character who will not be named, that I absolutely despise. And that made it really hard for me to read these books. And it's maybe not who you think it is. If you've heard me talk about the Red Rising series in the past, I definitely think I grew a like for the character that I maybe bad-mouthed in the past. I regret it. I regret it now. I really do. Lightbringer really was a redemption arc for that certain character, and so I think that was really fun. I think Red God is gonna just be so great, and so I cannot wait for that book to come out in 2026. Next, I've had these books for probably a few years now, and I have not read them yet, but it was my time to read these. The first book is The Scarlet Princess. It's called the Lachlan series. It is written by Robin D. Mayle and Ellie Madison. So they co-write the books together, and it was so fun. I ate these books up. I ate them up. They were so good. So good. I loved them. They're really quick pace, short books, which I really, really admired, especially after reading those huge books by Pierce Brown and Brandon Sanderson. So if you're looking for a series that is really quick, fast paced, has lots of great tropes, and I feel like the tropes are done really well. And I really like a feisty female main character, and I feel like this one is, and it's not overdone, which I really appreciate. You should really read the stories. I don't know like what technically they're labeled as, so it is fantasy, but it's kind of like Viking, Scottish-ish vibes, and I don't know, it's just so great. It was like, it does like enemies to lovers so great. I don't want to spoil too much of the series, but I honestly don't know why I put them off reading, because I loved them so much. Another book that I read that I do not have physically, I technically listened to this book, One by One by Frida McFadden, and I've read a lot of Frida McFadden's books. They're not necessarily my favorite books, but I think they're great. The filler books, if you're wanting like a different vibe than like romance, fantasy, sci-fi, I think they're just really easily digestible, even if they're not the best books. I think I rated it 3 stars. I think I forgot to say what I rated the other books. Okay, I'm just gonna go backwards real quick. I rated these to all of them 4 stars, except for the third one. I rated 3.5. Still a great series. I rated this one 4 stars, and I rated Lightbringer 5 stars. Anyways, One by One, I rated 3 stars. It's definitely not my least favorite Frida McFadden, but it was a wild ride. It was a little bit of a trip that she brought us through, which I really, it was just an easy listen to, and I listened to it on like a 4-hour drive. I think it was a 8-hour book to listen to, and I listened to it in one drive. So it was, I honestly didn't see the twist coming. I usually can guess the twists. The thing with Frida McFadden, I really like her books. I just think sometimes her twists are too far-fetched, where they don't really make sense to me. But they're entertaining. I love it. It's like reality TV. You love to watch it, but it doesn't sometimes always mean it's the greatest. So, and then another book that I listened to, it's a series. I finally got around to listening to the Mindf series by St. Abbey, and those were so fun. I really, really enjoyed it. I think overall I rated the series 3 stars. I definitely don't rate thriller books or series very high. They're not my favorite genre, but I really just think sometimes they're really easy to digest and just something that's like really fun and you know, can be like a little thrilling. It always intrigues me. Like, I have to know what is going to be the end, and so I think that's why I think they're really fun. So I finished all of the Mindf series, and the first one is called The Risk, and it literally is a 3-hour audiobook, and I finished it in like an hour and 20 minutes. I think I literally listened to it on 2.25, and she does such a good job at leaving the first book on a cliffhanger and the second book on a cliffhanger, third book on a cliffhanger, fourth book on a cliffhanger, fifth book, you know, everything is resolved. And I really liked it. I ate it up. I literally think I listened to them in like a day and a half, 2 days, while I was like cleaning, driving, you know, doing chores. It was so fun. So highly suggest if you're wanting something like that. Kind of the main plot of it can, you know, obviously check the trigger warnings with any thriller books because there sometimes can be really heavy topics, and I don't know how to describe it without it sounding bad. Pretty much it's based on someone who has a really heavy past, and she kind of want to get to revenge on the people who were involved with her heavy past, and she does some illegal things, very illegal things, and she starts dating this FBI agent who is looking into the case but doesn't know it's her. So it's really fun. It's like, oh, when is he gonna find out, and how is she gonna navigate this relationship, and like it's a great time. I honestly really enjoyed it. I remember Reggie and Kennedy telling me the entire plot of it because I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to read it. I don't think I'm ever going to listen to them. And they probably told me like three-ish years ago. And I honestly kind of completely forgot the entire plot. And I kind of remembered the topics of it and kind of like the gist of the books, and I was like, you know what, I need to catch up on my reading goal. And so I just decided to listen to them, and they were so great, and I don't think them telling me a few years ago it ruined anything. It was really awesome. So if you're needing any short books to catch up on your reading goal, I think those are a great, really easy listen or read. So I highly suggest, but obviously I would look up trigger warning. And I think that wraps up all of my most recent reads over like the past month. And I had a good time. There was a lot of long books in there. And so this month I'm hoping to I'm trying my best to get a lot of reading done, but I'm still really behind on my reading goal. So if anyone has any like short, quick, easy reads that they really liked, let me know. Like 300, 400 pages, I feel like is like really great. Or less, that's even better. Or if you guys have any suggestions on any books that I should read, I would really love to do a YouTube video where I read the books that you guys suggest for me. I would love them. I would love to read them and kind of give you my overall thoughts. So please let me know. Whoa, my most recent reads really, it was a lot of pages. It was a lot. But I am excited to update you guys on some of my next reads in the future. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye!